Brand new Netflix film, which hit the streaming service this past Friday. Film is directed by Nikki Caro, who's coming off directing 2020's Mulan. It also comes from three screenwriters: Misha Green, who created Lovecraft Country on HBO, Andrea Burloff, who has writing credit on Straight Outta Compton, and Peter Craig, who has also a screenplay credit on films like The Town, Top Gun, Maverick, and The Batman. The film stars Jennifer Lopez as the mother, who is an assassin, and 12 years after having given her daughter up to keep her safe, she then has to protect 12-year-old Zoe, played by Lucy Perez, as a couple of Jennifer Lopez's character's former assailants slash boyfriends try to interfere. One played by Joseph Fiennes, another played by Gael Garcia Bernal, and Amari Hardwick plays one of the FBI agents who Jennifer Lopez trusts in the movie. The film is an hour and 55 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Movie review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Matthew. Today we're breaking down The Mother on Netflix. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, have you seen this film? If you have, tell me, did you like it, not like it? Do you like Jennifer Lopez as an actress? Let me know. If you have not seen it, tell me, did you even know this movie was out on Netflix right now? Will you check it out? Is there a reason why you don't want to check it out? Let me know in the comment section. I respond to every single nice comment. Also, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button, that's how you support this channel. It really helps the algorithm out on YouTube. So if you like the video, it gets us more viewers here to our community, which was now we're over 150 subscribers. So let's try to get to 160. So this is a movie I was not that excited for. Even though I do enjoy sometimes Jennifer Lopez as an actress, she's really had poor taste in just her own films in her career. Her films just haven't been great films, and for a long time. But this is a different version of Jennifer Lopez. She's not in the as always rom-com movie, which really plays into her strengths more than usual, or she plays a singer. This she's playing really just an assassin for the majority of the movie, which you just don't see. So I was excited to see that. I also love Misha Green, who also created Lovecraft Country, who's the story and screenplay writer for this movie. So for that, she was on board. And a lot of these top tier writers were on this project, got me excited. But let's get into the positives, the negatives, and my score out of 5 stars. So overall, this movie was definitely better as it got going on throughout the entire film. I was kind of shocked by the end of the movie. I kind of cared about the characters. I was telling myself throughout the entire film, I just wasn't buying and caring about this mother-daughter relationship between Jennifer Lopez's character, who's, I don't think, referenced by name. Even IMDb just lists her as the mother, between the mother and Zoe, played by Lucy Perez. I wasn't buying the dynamic, and I'll get into my kind of negatives in a bit. But for some reason, towards the end of the movie, I actually genuinely cared and was satisfied with what the direction they took with both those characters. So that was kind of a weird feeling where I felt like I really wasn't enjoying the movie that much. And then we got to the ending, I was kind of like, that was all right. That was an okay, satisfying ending. I do think the best parts of this movie is sadly not the action, which I'll get to in my negatives, but when it really is just the mother and Zoe, and she's trying to train Zoe, and that dynamic, I guess, for the last 45 minutes of the movie was clearly the best part of the film. The idea of the mother trying to protect herself, she has also to believe that she can be a mother because she's this assassin. She's a killer. She's not the prototypical, obviously, mother. And the dynamic between someone who obviously loves and cares about this child, even though obviously haven't met before, but also has is a killer. There's a really good back and forth dilemma going on for Jennifer Lopez's character in the movie. And she really commits to this movie. I think a lot of people were kind of nervous about that, but she absolutely commits. And I do think you buy her as this character. I think if you just think of her just as this pop star or icon or whatever you would think, maybe you don't buy her. But for me, as a performance point of view, I do think you buy Lopez as this character, which is a big thing for this movie. Which I don't think people even should be talking about. She's an actress, she's going for it, and because you can tell that she went all in on trying to make this movie good and the performance being good. Obviously, she's a producer on this film as well. it really comes through on screen, the commitment Lopez's character has for this movie. And it comes through on screen really good. Other performances here, as I said, Lucy Perez gets better throughout the entire movie. Amari Hardwick's a good heart piece. Joseph Fiennes, Gael Garcia Bernal really don't have a lot to do in this movie. They're two very underrated actors who I think should be getting more work, but both really don't have anything to kind of do with in the movie. But as I said, it's emotionally satisfying towards the end of the movie. And I really respected the commitment that Lopez took for this character, which really drives you through the movie. Now, overall, this is just definitely not a good movie either. The most disappointing part of this movie is that the action scenes are just the most generic action scenes that you'll see in a movie all year long. They're not special. There's a lot of quick cuts. So even if the action might be cool, you can't really tell what's going on based on a lot of quick cuts, especially for this big boss fight battle that Lopez has with Joseph Fiennes toward the end of the movie. There's just a lot of quick cuts, and it's kind of distracting of what the actual hand-to-hand combat fight that is taking place. And if this movie had better action scenes, this movie actually could have been a pretty good movie, because the actual story between this mother and daughter relationship is actually kind of strong towards the end of the movie. So if the action is probably been a fresh movie for me, but the action absolutely just takes a lot out of it, which is another big negative for me, is that this movie was absolutely boring for the majority of the film. It's a boring ride because the action just never gets you hooked or energized whatsoever. The best action there is Jennifer Lopez sitting up top in a high distance and shooting people from up top with no recoil. There just isn't any good action. There's literally two chase scenes which are basically identical, except one's a foot chase scene and one's like a driving chase scene. And I think if the action really engaged you and got you as an audience member some energy to keep going, I think the movie would have benefited. But there's just no energy because the action scenes are that generic. It just doesn't never really got me into the movie. I did feel like there was kind of a forced, like, kind of romance between Amari Hardwick and Jennifer Lopez that I don't think was necessary to the movie. As I said, there weren't a lot to do for the villains. I think the villains maybe felt like threats, and more complex. The movie also could have been a lot more interesting. And I did think for Lucy Perez, who did a good job as Zoe. They didn't make her feel a cry in like every scene, and I think it was just kind of annoying for me. So the action absolutely kills this movie for me. This is not a bad movie, nor is it a good movie. But for me, it's probably going to be one of the most generic, average films you'll see all year long. So I'm going to give The Mother a 2.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 46% for The Mother on Netflix. Really, I guess a surprise. I thought this could be one of my least favorite films of the year. But it's not. So that's my review of The Mother. I also reviewed earlier in the year Jennifer Lopez's Amazon Prime film Shotgun Wedding. I'll leave that link right up to the right next to my head. Other movie reviews are coming soon, including my box office breakdown show tomorrow. Reviews of Fast X are coming out this week. So we will have that as well on the channel. So that's my review of The Mother on Netflix.